Hello viewers, it's Sentai Michael from Screen Reviews, bringing you a new podcast from my subject called The Super Sentai Review. And like always, I'm going to speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly, in case you don't understand me. Also, I'll try to do my best not to beat you hard during this audio podcast recording as well, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will have some adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will have adult language in it. If you're under 18, now if you're over 18, then you get to watch this audio podcast recording. So anyway, sorry for doing this. Sorry for uploading this podcast late. The latest podcast was the latest episode of Sentai. I had things to do. I had some things to do. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's get into the latest episode of Donbrothers. So basically, this episode starts off like this. We see Jara, the new guy who is trying to be a ranger, working out in the park, training himself, and he still believes that that he's destined to be a ranger, and based off the voice in his head, and maybe be the chest. And maybe be the leader of the Rangers as well. So anyway, that was going on. Turns out that the Pink Ranger is Yoshi is slowly being taken control by an Avataro monster that's trying to take over his body. Is slowly taking over his body. So basically, the monster started to slowly take over his body when his wife ended up in the hospital, accidentally being bumped into the Black Ranger, who was being chased by that cop who's being controlled by that beastly by accident. She only had a scrape and whatnot. So basically, filling the whole situation. So anyway, the Pink Ranger doesn't know that, that he's the reason why his wife's in the hospital in the first place, and as of right now, none of the Rangers still doesn't know who the Black Ranger is, and the Black Ranger doesn't know any of the other Rangers I didn't see as well. So basically, turns out the Black Ranger Isbal was waiting at Yoshi's apartment. He's telling him that I bumped into this woman that looks like my wife. So basically, he was talking about his encounter when he bumped into the Pink Ranger wife, and he said that the woman that looks like my wife, that definitely looks like my wife. So basically, it seems like either the Pink Ranger's wife is really the Black Ranger's wife, or maybe there's maybe there's something else going on with this situation. So anyway, basically the Black Ranger tried to show the Pink Ranger a picture of his wife, but luckily the picture had one of those screenshot photographs, that screenshot, that makes her face look doofy and whatnot. He couldn't really get a full picture of, so basically the Pink Ranger couldn't really see the Black Ranger's wife, who he claimed, claims that looks like the yellow, it looked like the Pink Ranger's wife. So anyway, blah blah blah. So basically the Black Ranger laughed, and the Pink Ranger said, "Don't worry, I'll help you find your wife." So basically after that, the monster fully started to take control of the Pink Ranger. The Naho monster started to take control of the Pink Ranger, and basically, and this monster is based off of Car Ranger or Power Ranger Turbo. And basically, make any vehicle wheels, sort of like bikes and stuff disappear and whatnot. So anyway, meanwhile, the others was talking to Black Kaido about the whole what happened to the whole wish. So basically, Black Kaido said that that it was a 50-50 chance when you guys wish to bring Kaido back, it probably would have been permanent. It would probably have been temporary. So basically, Black Kaido said that that Black Kaido said that every time he said, I told you guys it might be a chance to bring Tall back, but not permanently by you guys wishing that. So anyway, he said that none of you guys don't even bother. So basically, maybe the blue and yellow rangers is maybe you can get one of the other rangers to use their points. Use their points, or when they have enough points to wish Tall back. But kind of said no. It probably might end up with the same result. He comes back and he disappears again. So basically, Black kind of said don't even bother with that. So anyway, the others too. So basically, the others were so basically, Kaido was Black Kaido was you guys should get yourselves ready to fight without Taro, because it looks like you guys are asked out for now. You guys are already asked out. So anyway, put bunch statement. So basically, the Rangers got teleported by the Morphers and morphed up into the Ranger Force, and was fighting the Naho monster that's being possessed by the Pink Ranger. So they don't know at this point that this new Naho monster is actually being possessed by the Pink Ranger. So basically, seems like things were. Things like these two were about to handle this monster until Jiro showed up and basically showed up with a big rock and tried to go at the monster, but he ended up hitting the Blue Ranger instead. But lucky for the Blue Ranger, he was in Ranger mode when Jaro drove the rock at him. So basically, and gave the monster the opportunity to escape. So anyway, meanwhile, back at the bad guys' hideout, the bad guys were wondering how the hell did Taro, got free from that dimension. So basically, it turns out that Taro is trapped in a dimension where the people, where other people that got struck down by Sunai and his gang are being held at. So basically, all the people that the Ranger didn't save, that is taken over by Naho monsters, are actually in a different dimension, trapped in a different dimension and whatnot. So basically, Tall is in a different dimension, but Sunai was maybe somehow somebody must use some special power. Maybe that Taro must have had some special power we don't know about, and he was able to break free from the dimension temporarily. So basically, they check, and Taro is back in the dimension, back in the dimension and whatnot. So basically, somehow it's wondering, maybe I should do something about this on my own, and don't tell the others my motive. So anyway, so basically somebody is planning on doing something about Taro, and he really want to tell his other comrades what he's going to do about this situation. So anyway, meanwhile back at Black Kaido's good. back at Black Kaido's, coffee shop, cafe, whatever, the Blue Ranger Shinji and the Yellow Ranger Hakama was yelling at Jaro for, just for interfering with the whole stopping the monster and whatnot. So basically, and Jaro explains that, I'm destined to, ever since I saw Taro back in high school. So basically, Jaro was explaining, and when I was in high school, I saw Taro, stand up to these guys, stand up to these bullies, he didn't have to even, he took a beating while he was still standing and not throw a single punch and beat these bullies. So basically, Taro, he witnessed Taro, took a beating, and he was still standing after this beating, and basically he was able to defeat the bullies. The bullies were so tired of beating Taro, he defeated the bullies without throwing a single punch. So basically, ever since that day, I heard this voice say, "I'm destined to be a ranger, destined to be a Power Ranger." Ever since that day, so basically, so basically, the blue and yellow ranger, were basically like understand, now fully understand why Jaro is just being a ranger. So anyway, at that moment, the yellow ranger lost the use of her legs, and basically, and that's when that's when Black Kaido came out the back with his wheelchair. He explains that that every time you guys use your point to make a wish, you guys might suffer you guys might go through some side effects temporarily. So basically, this is the result of the other ranger using her points to wish for that, they've been using her points to wish for something, and now she temporarily lost the use of her legs. And when the Blue Ranger used his wish, he lost the ability to come up with brilliant poems and whatnot. So basically, once again, the Peg Ranger was taking control by the Naha monster based off the Car Ranger, and making people in the automobile disappear and whatnot. So basically, the Black Ranger was on scene, but he didn't see the Peg Ranger transform into the monster. So basically, the other Rangers, even the other two, so basically Blue and Pink did chill out to try to help the Black Ranger, but pretty much was useless. So basically, Jaro tried to do his best to help the Rangers out, but since he doesn't have the ability to morph, it seems like the Rangers were about to be done in by the monster. And basically, at that moment, we see this digital image of a slot machine giving Jaro a special spear morpher called the wheel. I think it's called the wheel. Given this special spear weapon / morpher, and he was able to transform into this ranger called into a gold ranger called Goku. So basically, he transformed into this gold ranger that looks like something like a Die Ranger, but a dragon themed Gold Ranger. So anyway, he's able to fight off the monster and whatnot, and the monster got away. And basically, the other Rangers were kind of shocked to see that to see that Jalo was able to become a ranger. So anyway, they went back to the Black Kaido shop, and and that's the somehow uses somehow use the virtual world to send them a message at Black Kaido shop that that power is being held in a dimension. So basically, the only way to get there is to it's being struck down by I will take down the monster, and that monster will be teleported to that dimension where Kaido and the others are being held. So basically, one of you rangers needs to be there when I take down the monster and use that monster to get into that dimension and break break Kaido's break Kaido out of his cell, and basically you guys come back once you do that. So anyway, so even though they don't trust even though that the Rangers were hesitant to do so, but they had no choice but to trust Sentai on this one. So basically, they send Jara to do the job. So basically, Sentai and his warrior form, found the Naho monster being controlled by the penguins and strikes him down. And basically, just when he was about to be teleported to the dimension where Taro was, Jaro, in Ranger form, managed to grab hold of the Naho monster being controlled by the Penguin Ranger, and basically and one of in the dimension where Taro is being held at. So anyway, basically, working together as a team, the Pink and Isoshi and Jaro was able to get to Taro and break him free from his cell, and basically and they managed to break free from that dimension and came back to their world. So basically, Taro was grateful for them, getting out of that dimension. So basically, at that moment, the Penguin the Naho monster took control of the Pink Ranger again. So basically, working together as a team, Jaro and Taro was able to destroy the Naho monster and set Isoshi the Pink Ranger free from the Naho monster. So basically, the Blue and Pink Ranger was glad that that Jaro was able to save Taro and also the Pink Ranger from that Naho monster that he was being controlled by. So basically, at that moment, Taro was saying sorry for everybody to putting guys through this whole deal and whatnot. So basically, Taro gave Hakura the other way to vote of encouragement, and basically she was able to gain the use of her legs again and walk and trip on Taro, and glad he was back. And this is how the episode ended with all five Rangers, except for with 5 out of the 6 Rangers, happy that Momotaro is back, and this is how the episode ended. With all the 5 out of the 6 Rangers happy that Taro is back, and basically Jaro placing his loyalty to Taro, and basically this is how the episode ended on that note. So anyway, this was a good episode, and so basically there's a lot. It seems like there's a lot more going on here than we thought. So basically, especially when it comes to the Black Ranger's wife and the Pink Ranger's wife, who might be the same person. But there's a lot of things going on here. But anyway, this was a good episode. Anyway, signing off. 3 guys speak. 1.